Hello. Today I'm going to tell you a little about the fiction I'm writing and its main character. Lya Anders is the biological daughter of Satan and Lilith. A fallen princess of hell, she's the only demoness to have come into the world with a good heart, and as you can imagine, that's not the best starting point in life. Satan, her father, was furious at her absolutely unique nature for demons, especially as this atypical young woman's powers were less powerful than expected, albeit very varied. Refusing to recognize her as his daughter, and as the worthy heiress of hell, he decided to kill the young princess as soon as she was born, but, refusing to get his hands dirty, he entrusted this thankless task to Lilith, her mother. For obscure reasons, probably fearing God's wrath if she were to carry out this ignoble task by killing an innocent child, Lilith decided to betray Satan, and although it required colossal energy, she created a portal to Earth, and deposited the demon baby there. When the portal closed, she returned to Satan, claiming that she had obeyed him. However, the master of hell did not hesitate to punish her severely for having given him such a weak child, and Lilith's screams echoed for a long time in the infernal fortress. On Earth, the portal deposited the young fallen princess on the floor of an American forest, where her cries eventually attracted the attention of an old woman who had been living as a hermit since the death of her husband. A devout Christian, Lya Anders found the demon baby and, although initially frightened by its appearance, decided to adopt it and raise it with love. She named her Lya Anders, as her biological parents had never given her a name. When she turned 20 in 2023, his adoptive mother Lya Anders died of old age. Lya possesses many powers, including the power of healing people. As a demoness, Lya possesses eternal youth and rapid regeneration, as well as superior resistance. Although she is not as strong and invincible as the rest of her cursed species, but she can't stop someone dying of old age, because sooner or later, humans must return to God, and Lya was no exception. Despite her grief at the loss of her adoptive mother, Lya tried to overcome this ordeal, but she had the joy of being able to continue communicating with her, for God, in His great mercy, and in order to ease the young demoness' suffering, allowed her mother to speak to her from heaven, and even to intervene directly in certain situations, due to Lya's uniqueness. Unfortunately for the young woman, Lya was destined for a life of pain and many threats. Having just lost her mother, she tried to rescue a truck driver whose truck was threatening to fall into a ravine on the edge of the forest where she was hiding. Using her superhuman strength, she ripped open the truck's door, pulled the driver out and used her powers to heal him. Then the police arrived on the scene, and, seeing Lya and her atypical appearance, the officers reacted aggressively, yelling at her to surrender, weapons drawn. Terrorized, the young demoness tried to flee and return to her mother's house, which she absolutely did not want to leave, but despite the use of her powers and superior strength, and true to her nature as a gentle and kind young woman, she didn't want to hurt the police, and ended up being captured. Finally, after a few run-ins with priests and demon hunters, and the intervention of her adoptive mother to protect her, it was decided to take her, alive, to the Vatican, to plead her case with the Pope and cardinals. The plane journey did not go according to plan, however, and her private jet crashed into the Atlantic Ocean following an avian collision. The sole survivor of the crash with a demon hunter who would later become her friend and mentor, Lya carried the man over water and had no choice but to seek help from a US Navy aircraft carrier, the only place she could land. The military, obviously very suspicious, decided to capture them, and the Pentagon was informed of the young demoness' unusual presence on the warship. Several agents went to the carrier, determined to interrogate Lya and her companion about her nature. Although terrified by the pressure the experts were putting on her, Lya managed to escape once more with her companion and reach the Vatican, but the damage had been done. The Pentagon, determined to capture Lya and exploit her powers, particularly her ability to create, repeatedly sent in its special forces to seize her, forcing her to create forbidden and dangerous technologies. Lya, though now a persecuted and repeatedly abused fugitive, temporarily enjoyed the protection of the Vatican, although this led to severe political tensions between the Holy See and the American government, and she was not reassured by the divine aura that reigned in the Vatican. However, not everyone in the Holy See shared the Pope's compassion, and the master of the demon-hunting order, the Guardian of Shadows, an overtrained man even stronger than her, tried to kill her, forcing her to flee. And, of course, her pursuit by the American authorities was about to begin all over again. The Lya Anders story is still a very rough draft, a work in progress that will require major corrections, and probably a substantial evolution in artificial intelligence before it can be exploited. It's a project I'm spreading out over several years, and one day, if possible, I'd like to be able to turn it into an animated series or something. It's not going to be easy at the moment, however, and there's no guarantee that this story will be anything more than a rough draft. We'll see what the future brings. An important point in this story is that it is made clear throughout that demons are irredeemable creatures dedicated to absolute evil. None of them can repent and turn to God's love, but Lya is an absolute exception to this rule, and there will be no other. She's above all a noble young woman, intelligent, with a sarcastic sense of humor, but also hunted down and more afraid of humans than the other way around. Thank you for watching this video, and please feel free to leave a comment to give me your point of view on this summary of Lya's story.